Well, like I said in the opening, being in Australia is in hard mode. Whenever I travel overseas, and there are a number of crypto and AI conferences that I've attended across the US, Asia Pac, and EU, UK, um, the way that I'm received and what I'm talking about, I mean, the rooms are just more filled. So the reach that you get for any one room that you're speaking in is tenfold. But also, when I was in Toronto and the UK mid-year talking about Crystal AOS and what's coming and what's being built, I had a lineup of people that couldn't wait to learn more and
Yeah.
are on the wait list. Whereas in Australia, we don't have that same volume of events or reach. And typically the crypto events are not attended by traditional finance looking to get the edge. There's
Mm,
not that same level of inclusiveness.
yeah.
TradFi is still very separate to
Yeah.
crypto. We are seeing some convergence, but it's slower than what I
Yeah.
see overseas. So the only thing or the strongest things keeping me in Australia are non-business related. They're the healthcare, they're my family, they're the school system. Those are the sticky things that make it hard to leave Australia. But sort of everything else is what's welcoming me to go rest of world first to
Mm,
give this software and this business a better chance of global reach.
yeah. I've found the same thing, right? Human capital talent. I go to Singapore, for example, and regulators want to chat to me, and why? I'm, I'm like a talent guy, right? Like I'm not legal. I'm like, oh, no, you're at the coalface, right? Like you know exactly what's going on. Whereas here in Australia, you kind of get battered away. Nobody's interested. And I think for me the issue, Joni, is it seems to me in the rest of the world, competition is what keeps the incumbents honest.
Mm.
In Australia, it's regulation that keeps the incumbents up, and they're more scared of the regulators than they are of competition.
I
And I
agree with that.
think that kind of creates, the wrong incentive structure. And we see this all the time, right? Like all of the policy and the debates got nothing to do about the end user, right? They're all about, infrastructure. CDR is a good example where consumer data, right? And there's very little conversation until, damn it, we money really started to push that agenda. All of the conversations have been around policy and regulation and all the other stuff and technology. And I think it's, such a, it's kind of lackadaisical. Like,
Mm.
your kind of customer has to always be number one, right? But in Australia, it's kind of like the regulators number one. As long as we're doing right by the regulator, we kind of don't have to worry about anything.
Which is the luxury of being an incumbent.
Yeah.
But for startups and scale-ups that have to be completely and immediately responsive to the user and what is best and easiest for the user, it's an extremely difficult environment to test and get
Yeah.
to initial product market fit.
Yeah.
And it's highly expensive to
Yeah.
even get to that point. So why would you do that in Australia?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And look, we saw that with the neobanks, right? Where they were given licenses and no chance of success. Because again, they required huge amounts of capital for the license, and their wage bill itself would have been $10-20 million a year before you've even got a product out to a customer, right? Like, and you would need 20 million a year in capital just to pay the wages, and it's going to take you 5-6 years to get products in customers' hands.
Yeah.
There's no innovation doesn't stand a chance, right? So it's what do you think? What do you think we could be doing better around that then? And what do you think kind of government regulators need to change in order, other than asking us to do the same submission 10 times over? What do you think are some of the things that they can do to really kind of move things on and create more of an environment that is conducive to true innovation?